That's how you feel?
Feel like popping it like it's hot.
Popping like it's hot. Okay. So it's Saturday. Y'all got some plans tonight?
Probably go get some food and then go to sleep. Cause work tomorrow.
I'm probably leaving here going straight to work. I never get a day off. I get moments. This is one of those moments. I love this podcast for that reason.
We love you. So yeah, episode 4. Phobias and fetishes.
Let's get into it.
Well, when we leave here, I don't have nothing to do but cook me some burgers. So I'm ready to eat.
What kind of burgers you eating?
Some vegan burgers. I love mushrooms, so that's one of my topics.
It's funny you said topics. That means like you so into this media stuff, you put topics
The balance.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Nisha today. She's still with us. She ain't left us yet. So,
Yeah,
she's feeling.
The questionnaire queen.
Right. She's going to be letting us know what questions y'all got for us to ask since a lot of y'all tuned in live. So, on our social media platforms.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 1. Should homosexual people work with children?
Why is that even an issue of concern?
I think
Let's answer the question.
yeah, because it's like I really want to ask a question to that question.
Okay.
It's why would that even be a concern? It's not like homosexuals. What's so wrong about that? I mean, they're humans. Why should they be?
Exactly. That's what I said. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm going to bring it to a personal perspective. I'm fine with homosexuals being around my children. Because I don't believe that it's something that's contagious. It's not like it's a disease or something. I mean, I don't even see it as being something to have a phobia about. People are people, and they are. I think it's a lifehood entitlement to be respected among everybody, regardless of who you are. So, I'm fine with it.
I mean, I'm like, what are children? Are they supposed to be scared or something? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to hear what Ocean got to say because she's too deep in thought.
Well, I mean, to be honest, no, I don't. Shit, I forgot the question. What was the question?
Should homosexual people work with children?
Okay. I feel like they should, unless you have some type of background of the R word or.
I just don't think it's any of my kids' business who anybody sleep with.
There you go.
I mean,
You know that's the context of that question. Like, is how are you working with children? Relevant to your job. Like.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it just comes down to sex. It's like, when you work with a child, it's not necessarily about talking to them about
Exactly.
what you're doing at home, what you got going on, whatever. It's like, you're sticking with a job. So what's the issue?
There you go.
sorry, y'all.
You're clicking some things, aren't you?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I mean, so yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't care about a person's sexuality, but like I said, this has nothing to do with the question. But if you are a R word, which I don't want to say, or if you have somebody, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Then I feel like you shouldn't be around my kids. But I don't care what your sexuality is.
Yeah, that's a different context, of course,
Right.
But wow, that's a question in 2021. I think that's wow.
think so many people are scared of people that, gay. Like, for instance, Boosie, he's been making a lot of rah-rah about Lil Nas X on stage kissing men, and a lot of rappers, like, we don't want to see that. That's not appropriate for our children. But, Boosie is a rapper, and I love Boosie. Like, he always comes to the city of Memphis, so I love Boosie. Let me eat your man. I love Boosie. But, Boosie, you've been calling females B's and W's and promoting sex, degrading women in your videos. But yet you talking about a man kissing a man on a VMA.
I think it's all about, I don't know if tolerances should be equated with a fetish, but people have their own level of what they consider normalcy. It's the new norm for people of same sex to express open displays of affection. And I'm just going to just say it, heterosexual people just need to get used to the new norm because we share a world with people. Oh, no, say, yeah.
I don't even think it's a new norm. Homosexuality has been around for a very long time.
But
No,
she means
what I mean is
the
acceptance.
Yeah, the acceptance.
But
like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are holding on to old habits. It's like
right. And that's what I mean by the new norm is those habits have to go. That's the new norm.
Yeah. And it's not to the straight community. It's not normal for. Well, you know what? I think the straight community being a hypocritical because it's normal for two women to kiss on TV and it's cool, it's sexy. But when it comes to a man, oh no, that's ridiculous. That's not right. They're gay.
I'm sure a whole bunch of men ain't gonna like what I got to say about this, but we live in a man-dominated world, and a lot of sexuality is of entertainment to men. So if it's entertainment to them, then it's automatically acceptable to them. Mm-hmm. So anything that they don't understand or is not necessarily entertaining to them, they want to oust you for it. So, right. I think that that's what it's more about. So, I mean, I would be very surprised if any one of us in this room, think that it's not okay. But let some men be in here. It may be a total different, feel.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is this. I don't agree to, just being honest, because I'm a parent, but I know it's life and it's reality, it's going to happen, oh well. But I don't agree to see nobody kiss on TV. I don't want to turn on my TV and I see two people kissing. But I get it. Movies, shows, I get it. But I'll be honest, speaking from a heterosexual, cisgender female or cis woman female, did I say that right? Cis woman? Okay. I really don't want to explain to my son why he's saying to me and kiss.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't want to explain to my kids about any two people kissing, in a overly sexual or hyperly sexual situation. So it's not even about it being two men or two women. It's just about, me being careful what my children is exposed to, period.
But I'm saying, I'm just being real. I don't want to explain to my son why he see two men or two women kissing. I'll be more comfortable with him seeing a man and a woman as of right now kissing.
Why is that?
Because I feel like if he sees the same sex kissing, of course that's being gay. It's not that I don't condone it, it's just that raising a child, not knowing his sexuality until he gets older to figure it out, I don't want to conflict that way of feeling in any kind of way.
Yeah, but you conflicted it if you're okay with him seeing a man and woman. You said that that's not as uncomfortable to you.
You remember just saying because it's the norm. With straight people, it's the norm for us, men and women, or man and woman.
Right, but to gay people, that's not the norm.
Right.
And that's the phobia.
Speak on it, and that's why we're here today.
And let me say this, I am, I am heterosexual. I'm straight. But when you have people that you love dearly that is gay or these other things, you learn to be careful of things that can hurt them. And I have to look at things from both sides if I say I love somebody. How I feel could be, a contradiction of that love or respect. So I'm sure they may say the same thing. I don't feel comfortable with my kids or whatever the case who I love seeing something that's not normal to me. And I don't know. What's your take on that? Like, guys?
I would say you just have to be completely honest with yourself, because, and not speaking just generally to you or you, but if you are okay with seeing your child, I would say you're a bit more comfortable with seeing your child kiss a heterosexual couple's kiss than to see a homosexual couple kiss. It's like you still have some type of stigma in your mind. Because if you're completely okay with, homosexuals being around your child, working with them, and just say outside of working with them and still family and friends being around, you still got a certain condition, on them. Like, so, not necessarily, it's not necessarily a clean mindset. It's still some contradicting feelings there.
Right.
But I mean, and I, like I said, I don't want to be the person that says, "Oh, I have gay people in my family. Oh, my best friend's gay," because those be the people that's like, "Shut up," you know what I'm saying? But I do, and I love, I love the gay community. I'm always watching what.
Gay. I don't know if you watch gay porn, but is that what you said?
Yo, we just did so well. Oh my God.
No, not gay porn, gay drama, like chasing reality, chasing Atlanta, chasing Dallas. Like, I love it. Like, I just love it. It's just something about the LGBT, ABCDFG, just does something to me. So I love the LGBTQ. Okay, but it's just the point of when you're born into this plus. When you're born into this world, we don't know anything about.
I don't know. I beg to differ only because my son knew right away who he was and what he liked in Pampers still. And I'm being real honest.
Is he straight or gay?
He's straight.
Okay.
He knew right away he didn't want no man doing nothing affectionate to him in diapers. Period. If you were a man, you could hug him. You could even feed him his bottle. You could not cuddle him in bed. He didn't lay next to you. He didn't sit on your lap. He played ball with you, but that was about it. And when it comes to his sexuality, he's very cut, black and white about what he likes, and when he don't, he'll let nobody touch him unless you are that chick or his mom. And he's been that way since he was barely walking. I'm serious. So I think maybe to each his own. Some of us know right away. Others have to figure it out and make a choice. And that's why we have alphabets to describe that community. It's because it's a spectrum, and I think we have to allow people to figure themselves out. Some people take years, decades. Like, I have friends who were married for 10, 15 years, and all of a sudden, in their 40s and 50s, they marry within, another woman or another man, and they are super happy. And I thought they were happy back then, and so I think it's a journey. Sexuality is a journey, and who you are at one point may not necessarily who you will be at another point in your life. And I don't know.
I got a question for Black Eyes. So speaking from Southern Belle saying that she know that her son was heterosexual in his Pampers, when did you know that you were lesbian?
I guess as a baby, I was a titty baby. I'm still a titty baby. So, if you didn't hear me the first time, I said I guess when I was a baby, because I was a titty baby. And I'm still a titty baby. But honestly, for real, I can honestly say I have always been attracted to women.
What age that you can think of? If you had to give us an age, what age would it be?
Where I was sure that I liked women, but I kind of felt like it was wrong because of how I was raised to think. I would probably like 8 or 9, because I like this librarian, and well, no, she was a computer teacher. And then, I was only in 3rd grade, so I really couldn't identify what it was, but I always wanted to go to the computer lab.
Suck that lady titty.
And she had a twin sister.
Oh,
Yeah. I met her twin one day, and I was kind of upset, because I felt like, she should have told me she had a sister.
You were already possessive.
And I'm trying to tell you, I was like, it's 2 of y'all. I kind of looked at her different.
I knew right away that I was attracted to men.
too much.
I knew right away that I was attracted to men when I was like 4 or 5. Yeah, and I let a boy show me his stuff in preschool.
Oh, I
Where's
wanted to
my
say something,
belt?
but my mama might.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, we got caught, and I got whooped. Back then, you could get whooped at school.
Oh yeah.
I got whooped by the teacher who caught it, by the principal,
And
by my mama,
Exactly.
and then by all of her brothers and sisters and my brother. Like everybody who found out about it whooped my. And and what that implanted in me was.
Wait till you get grown.
What that implanted in me was, what was I don't know quite what I did wrong in that, because I didn't tell him to do it. He just did it, and I realized I'm like that he did it. I was like, oh, okay, I shied away because I'm a lady, Southern Belle, but I never really understood what I did wrong in that context. But I knew then that I like men, I like boys.
Well, I don't want to give too much, because we probably gonna have a topic on sexuality, season 2. But 3rd grade, a female tried to touch me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was also molested by a female family member. So, I struggled with my sexuality. I never had any type of dealings with the female besides my aunt or the female in 3rd grade, but I struggled. My aunties would always say I was a tomboy because in high school my folks spoiled me, so they bought me every color Converse, every color Jordan, and it's a big deal. Around our time, it was a big deal, coming to school fresh. So I would wear tennis shoes and stuff like that, but I would still wear a swoop with some lip gloss. So it's I was a tom girl and a tomboy. But I did fight and struggle with my sexuality because I did look at women. Women are beautiful creatures, but I did look at women in a way that I felt like I shouldn't in a straight perspective. So I went through counseling. I even had family members used to say stuff like, "Oh, she gay." I didn't know what gay was,
And something, even if you were, there's nothing wrong with you.
But the thing is, as of now, I know who I am. As of now, I'm not gay. But just having that happen to me, it does confuse a child. So,
I will say this. I knew when I wanted men, but I wasn't sure about where I stood with women until I was in my early 20s. I had a woman, give me an invitation, and that's when I realized I think women are beautiful, but I'm not sexually, attracted to them. But it wasn't until then that I realized I'm not sexually attracted to women. I just think they're beautiful.
Well, I remember being in elementary school and the kids were fast or whatever. I've always kind of been a little bit reserved, but I be having fun too. So the little, little girls be out there twerking and stuff. And I remember like vividly, I was just standing there just looking. But to me, I'm just like, I'm literally just in elementary school. I'm just standing back, and then they would yell out and call me gay. I get mad, like. I'm not gay. I'm trying to defend myself. I apologize, y'all. I'm gay.
That's so funny that she said it like that. But I'm so glad that you said that because you're amazing just how you are. I just feel so bad that society made you feel that you had to degrade yourself and who you really are to appease it. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it was. I was mad. Like, oh God. All right, we can move on.
Yes. Is there another question?
Well, do you think marriage between homosexual individuals is acceptable?
Won't do it.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the. Can you repeat that question again?
Yeah. Do you think marriage between homosexual individuals is acceptable?
Okay, so I was playing at first. I've done it before. I have done it, and I would say do not recommend stars, bunny, but no, I'm kidding. Of course, it's acceptable. We love our homosexuals. Vibrations.
I mean, I feel like you wanna go?
I'll go after you.
Alright. As of now, 2021, I feel like it's acceptable. But I'm not gonna lie. At first, it made me cringe. It's like, why? And I mean, and this podcast is real, so I mean, I can't be no realer than this. I don't mind two men having sexual situations. I think it's hot. That's my personality. I mean, my point of view for my opinion. But marrying each other, I used to be like, because I was so caught up in the norm. And then it's acceptable in the straight community once again for two women to kiss. It's cute, it's they're women. But when it comes to a man, it's nasty. So back then, no, I didn't feel like it was acceptable. But as of 2021, I do feel like if you love somebody, no matter the color, creed, race, or sexuality, then if you want to marry that person, by all means, do what you feel you need to do because you're doing it for you and your partner and not you and everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say yes and no on that, and let me explain why. Marriage, from the beginning was never a state institution. It's always been a religious institution. But now it's become very, state or secular. So when it comes to the religious aspect, it's how you interpret the Bible. The way I was raised, marriage is only between two people, a man and a woman. But if you really look at the basis of what a marriage is, it's really just the coming together of two people under one household. And the majority of those benefits are going to be from a taxation aspect. So who am I to say that two people can't come together to maximize their tax exemptions and benefits only because of their sexuality?
Right.
I'm gonna lean in and say that if I am able to get certain exemptions and benefits from my taxes because I'm married to a man, I don't feel that two men or two women can come together and get the same benefits.
Right.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
And she gonna leave it at that.
Love is love, and I feel like people should be able to marry they're on paper, they want to marry.
Yeah.
I remember back in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
this girl asked me for the first time, she was like, you ever see yourself marrying a woman? And honestly, I've always saw myself being, married and being married to a woman. And I was like, why would that even be a question? Like, people should marry who you love. And that's just because that's my norm for me. I am a very free spirit.
I love how she said that. That was beautiful. You should just be free to marry who you love.
Yeah.
Bow.
Have you ever made any derogatory remarks like faggots or queer to people you suspected are gay?
And I didn't mean to laugh in the most respectful way, but I have.
You're fired.
When we were little, y'all remember that little hand motion? Girl, he.
They did that to me.
Right.
They used to, yep.
And I had a family member that we thought was gay. And I'm sorry, not family. A friend that we thought was gay. And they would be like, that little faggot, that little punk, But you only know better. I'm sorry, you only do better when you know better. And now that I know better, I don't use those words anymore. But yes, I have used those words.
I would say I've never used a derogatory word to describe someone that's gay, but I didn't understand transgender men that try to act and dress like a woman. That I didn't understand. So we used to call them he, she's. And so I did use that word to describe, a transgender man because I didn't understand that. I didn't understand how you identify with being in competition with a woman over a guy and you're a guy. Like that's what confused me about
It
that.
doesn't come down to competition. It's like, honestly, they're not competing. The guys want the guys, and so they don't even see women as competition. To them, like some men are just masculine in their masculinity, and then there's some men who are feminine in their masculinity. Like I'm a masculine woman in my masculine femininity. It's called androgynous.
Okay.
And so
the guys that I knew, like these were older guys, so it wasn't like they were in direct competition with me personally because I was a kid. But I used to hear them compare themselves to other women in direct competition for the same guy.
Mm.
So in my childhood, that's what I saw. Literally breaking down women because they don't have certain things, or that's what I saw. That they were very hostile towards women when it came to trying to attract the same man.
Mm.
What you got for us, Nisha?
Yes. Do you think organizations which promote gay rights are not necessary?
Say it again.
Do you think organizations which promote gay rights are not necessary?
The question is necessary for who?
For just in general.
I think it's necessary for the community in which they are trying to get the rights for, but rights for,
I think it's necessary. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's necessary for those that they're promoting. It doesn't do anything for me personally, because I'm not. But I love, I have love for, it. I don't want to just say gay people because I have love for myself. I have love for all of them. I just don't know the acronym, so I'm trying to avoid the acronym because I don't want to get it wrong and disrespect somebody. But I got love for everybody within the alphabet community. So I think it's necessary to support them in their rights, but it doesn't necessarily affect me personally, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's just like, I'm gonna just keep going. It's just like saying COVID doesn't affect you when it can affect anybody because it can happen. If it's not happening to you, it can be happening to somebody in your family. And I know you have homosexuals in your family.
Yeah, but that's why I just said what I said. It's
And
necessary
if it's
for them.
affecting, yeah, and they should. I mean, I don't know how you rock with your folk, but if y'all close or whatever, it should affect you. I mean, even people in the military, you couldn't even, you had that don't ask, don't tell. I mean, in 2006, that's when it became legal, for people to be open, who they are serving in the military. So I think it's very important to have these pro-gay, activists, because if not, hey, a lot of people will still be suffering in silence.
Let me say this, and I'm just, like I said, I'm not gonna repeat that. I'm gonna be real because y'all know this podcast is we gonna be real, raw, and unfiltered.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I feel like, and I'm sorry because I want to elaborate on the exact question, but of course I can't remember because I'm trying to get this Facebook Live together. So, Nisha, one more time, can you repeat that question?
Yes. Do you think organizations which promote gay rights are not necessary?
Okay. So I feel like, thank you, and I feel like they're not necessary, and this is the reason why. We are all black. Let's start with that first.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're gay, black guys, that doesn't mean you're different from me, because we're both black people. So my rights are equivalent to your rights.
Not in America.
But by you being gay, it doesn't give you a privilege, and by me being black, that doesn't give me a privilege. It's so much stuff that's going on with the black community. We need to start from there first. So why do we have to tackle on the black community and then make another category for gay people when we're all one?
Because there's different stigmas. There's favoritism on each one, especially in the black and gay.
And you're right, but at the same time, we gotta start with working with one thing first, which is being black. Because before you even being gay or sucking titties, you black before all of that.
I mean, honestly, I'm all of that at once. It ain't no this come before that, this come before this, that.
When God see you, if you're a Christian,
He just see your religion. He don't see your sexuality. He don't even see your skin. He sees your soul. He sees your soul. It's not about your skin. We're not getting to wherever we got to go based off our skin and because.
But that ain't what I said. I said when God sees you, a visual eyesight.
Your soul.
He don't see you as purple, gray. You're black. You're human. He don't see you as gay.
I don't think he.
So that's my opinion, and we have our opinions, and we don't have to agree. But that's my opinion. I feel like we shouldn't have gay rights. We shouldn't have black rights. We shouldn't have Caucasian rights. We should have rights, period, as a human being.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I said, she asked if it's necessary for organizations that promote, gay rights. And all I said was it's necessary for that community. That it doesn't directly affect me, is what I'm saying. Don't directly affect my children. It affects people that I know and love, and I want them to be happy. So, yes, I want them to be happy, but it's necessary for them. You see what I'm saying? There's no direct benefit to me personally, because, and I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
The rights that one get for their sexuality, I guess maybe because I already have those rights and privileges. I don't know, maybe I'm coming from a place of privilege when I say this. But I already have that stuff. So it's like, why am I fighting for something I personally already have? So it's not necessary for me, but it's necessary for those who may feel oppressed in that way.
And I'm going to spin a narrative really quick, and then we'll get to the next question. Have y'all noticed in Hollywood, the gays are the biggest platform that you do not want to disrespect?
Yes.
If I say one thing about, I'm just going to say Southern Belle gay, even though Southern Belle is straight. If you're gay and I say one thing about you and we're both celebrities, it's over for my career.
Pretty much, because it's it's an ABC community dominated industry.
But that's the thing. That's the reason why I don't stand for LGBT rights, because at the end of the day, and I ain't even talking about Caucasian people. We're talking about black, because I'm black. At the end of the day, it's about us as black people.
So you feel that if somebody gonna diss anybody, it should be them getting in trouble no matter what their sexuality is.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I don't need a clique to be. That's just like if you in a gangbang, you GD, I'm Vice Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of gay. I ain't gonna lie, y'all a beast. Y'all come after. Y'all come after us.
I'm just being real.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, that's how we would all want it. But everybody, literally everybody, because people will say that they don't have any opinions or views on what go on. In your mind, you think something. So I think people are really following, what they see on social media. Which, honestly, it ain't even, it's social media, cause it's social media, cause it's really social media. If it wasn't for no social media, I heard somebody say this, and it really is true. If we weren't on social media, what y'all be doing? Y'all be chilling. Worry about yourself, in your own lane, stay in there. But you get on social media and you see everybody post something, you post something. They ain't got nothing to do with you. You worry about wrong stuff.
Can you say that again? Because that goes across.
You be worried about the wrong shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Man.
So, next question.
Let me say this. Some girl today, she hit me up. She was like, we with the mess. We with the shit. Southern Bill. She hit me up, and this shit happened like 4 years ago. My cousin made a post and was like, she loved older men, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, girl, we know you like older men and baby daddies and granddaddies. The girl posted on my cousin page some negative stuff. My cousin erased it. She jumped in my inbox. Well, you still effing with my baby daddy. If you want him, you can have him. I'm married, so blah, blah, blah. Girl, what they had to do with you? Nothing. Anyway,
no, you know what? I have to apologize for one thing that I do like. I don't like when men do like female stuff, and so I do say, that.
So how do you feel about masculine women?
Well, I'm gonna say this. What I mean by female stuff is, we're talking about social media.
Yeah.
I don't like it when men get into confrontations that's between women. Like a man that stepped in and get into two women. Like, bruh,
Right.
if you got a problem with me, you need to go to my husband about me. Because that's the only dude that checked me. You just did some, and I don't say the G word to describe it.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect that from them because of who they are. But you, bro, so I have done that. I have.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, do you feel trans people should be created equal? Examples: Olympics, restrooms, civil rights, individual laws.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, let's break that down. Can you say the first thing?
Like the example?
The first
Yes. Should they be created equal in what?
Like the Olympics.
Stop right there. No, bruh. No. You're physically men are stronger in ways that women isn't, and vice versa. So if I am a woman and I am competing against another woman, but then there's a man who just says, I identify as a woman, and I'm going up against him who, by genetics, run faster or can carry more weight than me, bruh.
I just feel like this. You have the option to not compete. Because at this point, it just sounds like
You know what? millions of
Okay,
dollars
okay, I
to
can
shoot
see
the
that.
same basketball on the same rim.
Exactly.
Like, come on now.
I ain't gonna even count. I'm not even gonna count. I can't see with the sports because if we boxing, I'm strong. I'm real strong. But if dude come through there, and not a dude, but a trans woman. Yeah, cause I'm honestly gonna have to. I ain't gonna sit down through because I'm not gonna get my face. You're not gonna do that. So you won.
So, and I can't even say the names, but y'all know what I'm talking about on social media. It was something that just happened that a trans woman and a Black American woman, and I don't care about race, I'm just saying Black American woman. Black American woman, they were in the Olympics and they did go against each other, and the trans woman won. When you look at that trans woman, she was big as fuck.
Right.
That little lady, well, the cisgender girl, she was like skinny. And then the trans woman up here like, yeah, I did it. Y'all gonna have me for this? But you did it because you're a man.
Right. Genetically, they're faster, they're
You
stronger.
do have to be careful with saying some of this stuff because they technically not men because you are trans.
I'll be respectful.
And that's what's
but
crazy.
biologically, you are a
Right.
man.
Right.
I mean,
And you're happy that you won.
That's one topic because at this point they both hype, and I know I can sit here and go back and forth with them, but what I will say is still the genetics change because of the trans part.
You are not, and let me say this. I ain't in the gay community, but I know enough about LGBTQ plus community. You are considered a trans woman if you have gotten a sexual. Educate me.
You don't necessarily have to have a sex change. You can identify what you please. Honestly, if someone chooses to dress completely as they are and say they're a woman, they're a trans woman.
My point exactly, and you're running against.
At the end of the day, all right. Little hormone pills is not gonna make you a woman.
Yes, it will. Never mind.
Y'all don't let me finish. Let me finish. At the end of the day, let me say it again. A little hormone pills is not gonna make you a woman. It depends on how much time you have taken these pills. If you have taken these pills a couple of months and you're saying you're a trans woman and then you try to go against a cisgender woman in a Olympics relay and you won, baby, how long does it take before those hormones erase all that testosterone in a man? How long do we know?
Baby, you saw it.
Let me research it because I don't think nobody knows.
I don't know. All I know is if I'm in the Olympics, I'd be damned if a man is running against me for a gold medal. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings out there, but no.
Well, I honestly will go to a male's restroom if in public, like, and I have done it many times. I never think anything of it, and that's just because if I got to pee, and
I don't mind that either because I've been in another country and all of their restrooms is unisex. So
I think that is perfectly fine.
Yeah, but the Olympics, hell no.
That's why I like the gay club and national team.
Okay,
What's
service announcement. I found the statistics. It says it takes between 3 to 6 years to reach their maximum effect. So if you're on hormonal pills and you're trans, if you're a man trying to be a trans woman,
to reach
it takes
maximum
3 to 6 years. So not 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6
to reach
years.
its maximum.
But at the end of the day, the lady the trans woman that I'm talking about, she still looked like a man, and she still had like big ass
That
muscles.
doesn't matter if it's a trans woman.
That's
sorry.
crazy.
What I'm saying,
That doesn't
it takes
matter,
3 to
though.
6
It does.
years in order to fully
That's just
be.
the laws of the land.
But y'all missing the point.
They can still play.
Y'all missing the point. We're not saying that they can't still play. We're saying to make them equivalent to a cisgender woman. So if you're taking pills for 3 to 6 months, you're not equivalent. You're still literally a man. It takes 3 to 6 years to be equivalent to a cisgender woman. So that's why she won.
I don't know.
And it's not fair.
I'm gonna keep my position.
I'm
That maybe they should get their own class. Like you won against other transgender.
I don't knock trans people competing at all. So let me make that clear.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
they
it's
should
the
run
time
against
frame.
themselves.
It's the time frame. If you took your hormone pills, if you've been on your pills, as the statistic says, between 3 to 6 years, and then you want to compete, cool.
But
if you
answer my question, why can't if women got their own lane and men got their own lane, why can't the trans have their own lane? A medal is a medal is a medal, right?
Because they want, and I want them to be. To be honest, I do want them to be created equally.
But
we want them to be
but
equal.
They're not. I mean, I'm sorry, but they're not.
They're not. But when they live, like if a trans woman live her life as a trans woman, then we have to respect them as a trans woman.
I respect them as one. I want to be very clear about that. But there's certain things that as a naturally born woman, they still won't be able to do. Bear children, which is the complete identity of a woman. You know, the ability to bear children. I mean, that's something that they automatically can't do. All I'm saying is there are things that they can't do, and there's also things they can do that both naturally born or trans. You see what I'm saying? It's a spectrum where there's something they can do that we can't just because of their genetic or biological.
Like, okay, I can't agree. Check this out. That's just like saying a man's working and a woman's working. You see a man doing a job, it may be carpentry, it could be cooking, it could be mechanic. Would you say a woman can't do that? It's honestly, yes. Sometimes men are considered stronger, but I'm a living witness that a woman can be stronger than a man. It's just about who you're up against. And I mean, that's just, they gotta work that out within the system. But other than that, women sometimes can do things that you would be surprised that a woman can do. And men can do things. For instance, men doing a split, you might think when you think of a split, you think of a woman. But men do that too. Like, everybody's just,
I mean, yeah, I agree. But again, when it comes to the Olympics, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. Because if you can't smoke weed because of an enhancement, a natural enhancement is being born a man deciding to change to be a woman. There's enhancements physiologically that come with that. That's why women don't play on the same team as men professionally.
I just feel if you've been on your, because I'm going by statistics, if you've been on your meds between those ranges of years that they told you, then you can go against a cis woman in the Olympics. But by all means, if you haven't and then you won, that's not a fair game.
I don't know. We don't have to.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
I would say everything except the Olympics. Everything but the Olympics.
Let's move on. Next question. What's up?
All right, we're gonna switch gears. Question: are you fatphobic?
Are you what phobic?
Yeah.
What do you mean fat phobic?
So fat phobia means you have that fear of being obese.
Hell yeah, because I don't know high blood pressure and diabetes and all that. It's a health phobic.
Let me stop you. You can be underweight and still have high blood pressure, hypertension.
Yes, you can, but you are more likely to have those issues being obese. I have a health phobia with being fat.
Have you ever heard of big boned people?
I have heard of big boned.
It's not because they eat a lot of hamburgers. It's because it's genetic.
Don't nobody got no big bones.
First of all, I have a certification in holistic nutrition. It's how you go to school for 3 years to be a nutritionist. So I know what I'm talking about. So as
I
I
do
said,
believe in that. I do
my
believe
nose
in that.
erased, but that's true.
No, I do believe in that
If
because
you starve, you are not gonna have no big ass.
no.
Have you ever seen a baby come out and they're really fat?
That's a fat ass baby.
No, but you have. So yeah, you have, and then they grow up and they still chubby, and then they lose the weight probably when they get an adult. That's big boned, and that's natural.
Well, no, I know of people that weigh the same size. I mean, they're the same height, weigh the same amount, but one of them look way bigger than the other.
And by genetics, that simply means the way that your body is made. Your bones are not big.
Literally, your bones are not big, but they call it big bones.
So what we getting at?
So basically, I'm saying you can be 5'5", 150. I'm 5'5", 150. She could be 5'5", 150. You just
don't
but
want the one that look fat.
no, we look fat. We look obese. Let's not say fat, because I think that's disrespectful. But we can say we're chubby.
Don't say
Southern can look a little slimmer, and it could be because my dad has a bigger proportion. Like his body is his frame is bigger, right? And that's why.
And
it's
that
genetic.
goes back to the Olympics.
No. We're gonna move forward. So she said, "Do you have a fat phobia?" I do, because I don't want to be fat. So I have a fat phobia, meaning if I can exercise, which I haven't been because of my knee, but if I can exercise to not get obese or eat certain foods because I don't want to become obese, then I have a fat phobia. I'm not attracted to obesity people. So I have a fat phobia.
Well,
I don't want a friend. I don't want a man.
She just me.
I don't want a man with a big stomach and titties because he's chubby. Now, what may be for you is for you.
No, that ain't
but
for me.
For me,
No, that ain't for me.
I don't want that, and that's why I have that.
No, that's not for me. I want that to be very clear. Southern Belle second that notion of not being attracted to men with flabby chest and legs. I want to be very clear on that. But I will say this: I do not have a fetish
phobia.
a phobia of fat people. I have a phobia of not being pretty.
But the
and my context to that is I don't think some fat people or no, let me just keep it real.
Okay.
I don't think most fat people are their best self because of their weight.
Girl, you never heard of Ruben Studdard?
I don't think he was his best self.
Baby, he can sing.
He can sing.
He won American Idol and his best self, and he was fat.
That's why I said some. I didn't say all because I love fat Luther. I love Luther. I don't like quite not Luther. Okay? I love Big Luther. I love Big Luther. I love Big Oprah because Big Oprah was I loved I love big Jennifer Hudson. I loved big Jennifer Hudson. You know, like some people, I'm serious. That's why I said some. That's why I said some. Please don't be mad at me.
I like big money.
Because I'm close to being big, so please don't. No.
Girl, I feel like that.
No, I'm the biggest I've ever been, so I
Just big, right?
I'm big. I would not ever say fat.
So what's your height and weight?
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. So my height is 5'6", and I'm 174, 75 pounds.
What's your weight and height?
We're not gonna talk about my height on here, but I'm 5'5", 145.
I'm the obese one in the room. Nisha, what's your height and weight?
I'm actually 5'10". I mean, ooh.
So I'm the chubbiest one, so I'm considered obese.
How much you weigh? Keep it real. You've been keeping it real all day.
I am 5'5.5".
Oh, I definitely lied about my height.
And I am 170.
Oh my God, you me on that time
It's
of the
so
month.
funny to me when people
Girl.
share.
I mean, did she really just do
But
that?
I've been the fat. I ain't never been this fat.
What do y'all consider fat? Like, what makes you fat? Is it like this?
My arms got bigger. I don't want to jiggle them because they will jiggle. But my arms got a little bigger. My thighs are bigger, and my stomach area is a little bigger.
Yeah, just everything's a little bigger. Like for me, I got this thing under my chin that I want to get rid of so bad because I've never had that before.
Girl, go. My dermatologist couldn't have been out getting his information.
Thank you, because I don't want to do no surgery.
It's just a shot like Botox.
I'm scared of Botox. Because I'm scared that like once you start doing that stuff, you can't stop, and then you end up looking like Billie Jean. And I don't want to look like Billie Jean.
Billie Jean Michael Jackson or Billie Jean his woman Billie Jean?
Billie Jean Michael Jackson. Remember, that's when he started making the changes.
He got fat?
No,
Make the
he started getting plastic surgery.
Oh,
Remember, off the wall, Michael, he was still
cute.
dark skinned Michael,
Yeah.
but Billie Jean Michael was something's different. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to say y'all are not. Y'all see these people around here who are
Real fat. I'm thick though. I'll take thick.
Y'all got to
Yeah, I'm
thick.
I work hard for these little hips.
And I don't even like
I'm
to say I'm thick, but I'm thick.
I hope I'm thick because
But not the obesity thick. The thick, like.
not the high blood pressure and all that, you know, thick.
You are really scared of high blood pressure.
Yeah, because half of women gonna die from heart disease.
You running my family.
Yeah, let's keep it real.
Hypertension.
Exactly. So you should be scared too.
For what? It ran in my family too. It's still running.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You know what?
Someone say wrong.
You know what? That's okay, because
Come on, Niche.
in the Live Life Healthy segment, that's exactly what we're gonna be talking about.
So, do you treat fat people differently?
Where are these questions coming from?
Hey, like, do I purposely say, oh, I'm gonna? No.
I know the fat man.
No.
I am. It don't be that I'm laughing. It's not. It be the question. It's for me.
The only thing that I be questioning about is I hope they don't break my chair because I've had that happen before.
You treat them different.
No, I do not. I do not. I've had somebody break one of my chairs before. I put that on life. I had somebody break a chair and I never got paid back for it. So because of that, I got PTSD on people of a certain weight being in a certain chair. That's all. I broke a chair before. Okay, let me tell y'all.
And I did too, but it wasn't that bad.
I'm gonna tell y'all. Well, I was pregnant. Well, actually, I wasn't that because I was like I weighed less then than I do now.
Yeah.
But I was pregnant and I shouldn't have been in the chair because you know how I started wobbling, something loose. Well, I kept sitting in it and one day it just fell apart. So that I'll be concerned about. Like if you know, I'll ask you respectfully, oh, let me get this chair for you. I won't say nothing, but I'll right before you about to sit down, I'll be like, oh no, I got a special place for you. Like I'll be like that, but I won't,
I forgot the question. What was the question?
Do you treat them
fat people different?
I really can't say I don't treat fat people different.
Yeah,
I really don't.
No.
No.
I actually love fat people because I know 3 things gonna happen. We gonna eat, and we gonna have a good time, and I don't have to feel bad about it.
I don't treat them different, but I do. I'm not attracted to obesity people. So
No, I ain't gonna say that. I've seen some fine fat people.
I mean, I like Ruben Studd. I love him. Sorry for the 2000.
I'm not attracted to women, but I love Lizzo, and I think she is absolutely beautiful, and any man that get her is lucky as hell.
I'm sorry, but she She don't do it for me.
No, she don't do it for me either. But what I'm saying is, she's beautiful just the way she is, and any man that hit her should consider themselves lucky because she's a beautiful girl.
Listen, I have a fat phobia. I don't treat people that's obesity different, but I do in the aspect of dating.
Yeah.
So you think a fat girl don't have no competition with you over a dude?
The way my ego's hit up now,
I believe that conversation.
But no, but seriously, no, I don't look at. I don't go by woman competition. That's never the thing in my head. And I'm not saying a woman that has more pounds than me can get men or get more men than I can. That's never the question. It's just me feeling like I'm not attracted to the opposite sex, which is men. But women that's fat, by all means, they beautiful. I can't never talk down on an obesity woman because that's just not how I was raised. But I'm speaking on men. A man that's in shape and a man that's obesity, the man that's in shape will get my attention more than the obesity guy because I'm not attracted to that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I love the six pack. Thank you, Jesus.
So, have you ever
Yeah, no.
Honestly, I don't think I could ever date big ass girl.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say it.
Cause it was just one chick she did. I thought she was very, very beautiful in the face. And I ain't gonna say I couldn't handle it, but I wouldn't, no.
Did you go there with her? Let's be mature.
Mm-hmm.
If you do have like a lot of stomach and titties and we intimate,
That's a problem for me.
it is.
And I will leave it at that. Next question.
So, have you ever had a sexual experience with a fat person?
Let's be on it.
Period. Alright, so would you give up your seat for a fat person?
No.
If they put me in first class, absolutely. Next question.
Have you purposely gained weight but refused to gain enough weight to become an unattractive level of fat?
Yes, next question.
Hell no.
No.
Yes, I have. Next question.
And actually, those are all the questions. So if you have any questions for each other.
People that's obesity, if you are.
Can you just say fat? Because you said obesity that's a fetish for me. Lord Jesus, say fat.
I know we had fetish questions.
No, they were all phobias.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If my memory serves me correctly,
Yeah. Fetish and
There's a question about a foot fetish.
yeah.
I got a foot fetish. The only person that can touch my feet is my husband. Nobody else can ever touch my feet.
Okay, so the
Unless you're working them out. Don't touch my feet. I'm talking about your feet with my feet.
Oh,
Like feet to feet.
Okay, so for the fetishes, we have definitions. Really, that's our question.
Well, sorry guys, but we're gonna talk about a little fetish right quick. We over the mark of an hour, but we're gonna chop it up. So we had fetishes in mind, which is a foot fetish and what else fetish we have?
Body piercing.
Body. You see it?
Yeah, body
piercing. But no question.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. So foot fetish. How y'all feel about foot fetishes?
I don't want your feet touching my feet.
What about
Period.
you guys?
It just depends on what feet look like. Honestly, that's the real thing.
What about you, Nisha?
I don't necessarily like feet, but I don't mind my feet touching my partner. It's like they keep me warm and stuff, but like just touching them. I'm probably gonna put my gloves on.
No.
So do y'all know what a foot fetish is?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
A foot fetish is somebody who like they get turned on by your feet. Yeah, they want you to see your pictures of the feet throughout the day so they can get off on your feet.
Oh.
Catch a flight for your feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Ride a bike for your feet. Like eat for your feet. Yeah. What you gonna do with it?
Okay, well then in that context, feet does nothing for me, whether they're pretty or not.
Have y'all had somebody that had a foot fetish before? Like, did you know somebody that had a foot fetish?
No, but I mean, I'm with someone who prefers feet to be on fleek at all times.
My toes
And will pay for it.
Let's be honest. Y'all know how men be like, "Ooh, she gotta have white nail polish and stuff like that."
No, I just want my feet to be done and super soft.
So you don't think that's a foot fetish?
No, I think it's a preference.
So let me ask you this: does he, when your feet is done and they're super soft, when y'all intimate, is he putting your toes in his mouth?
That's none of y'all business.
No, I mean with this.
No, I'm serious.
We speaking on it. It's real. Is that what he's doing?
That's none of y'all business.
You gonna be real with?
I can't be that real.
Okay. So she can't be that real.
I
If a man is telling you how your feet should be, how it should feel, and he's actually sucking your toes.
Again, I'm not going to go into detail about my relationship, but I will say this. My husband is very, very happy with Southern Belle's feet, and I'll leave it at that.
And that's a foot fetish.
He's happy with head, shoulders, knees, and toes. In that order, and I'm gonna leave it there.
And I'm gonna tell y'all why that's a foot fetish. Because if a man doesn't care about how your feet look, feel, or taste, it's not a fetish.
But I don't think he has a foot fetish. I just think mine have a Southern Belle fetish.
But it's a fetish. We're talking about fetishes. Foot fetishes. Fetishes.
I ain't got no fetish.
Fetishes. Spaghetti. I'm hungry.
Some eat.
Yeah, I'm ready to eat. But yeah, that's a foot fetish.
Well,
So I've actually talked to a guy that likes foot fetishes, and y'all probably know who this guy is, but I'm not gonna say it.
why do I know who she's talking about?
And y'all, I'm talking about. So look, this man used to be like, and he was my man, so you know I was supportive. But and I'm real submissive, like when I'm in a relationship. So I'm never gonna tear down you or never laugh at you for what you feel or what you like. So it was new to me. So by me trying to figure out what a foot fetish is, it wasn't normal. It was something like you see on Lifetime. But he was like, he liked feet. He liked the size of it, if it has an arch, if they're done, the way they smell. And I would literally put my feet on his penis and like kind of jack it off or whatever. And he would get aroused by that. In my head, I'm like, this is fucking sick. Because the way I feel for it. But once again, I'm not knocking people that have fetishes. But in his mind, he was turned on and aroused and it pleased him. And it took me some time to agree with it because I wasn't used to it. But by him being my man, I feel like I'm going to do whatever I need to do to please you.
Is that the real reason why y'all broke up?
He's still around. Shout out to you. Y'all see I got white nail polish.
I hope he ain't listening to the podcast ever.
Yeah, I hope he ain't, but shout out to you. But I
Let
mean,
me tell us thing. I never looked up to him.
Don't.
Girl. This is $800 table, girl.
I'll tell you. Feet is a problem.
She putting on for y'all, but it's not ugly and
Feet
and
is
it
a
don't
problem.
be up bad. So don't say yourself. Anyway, but I ain't gonna if you're a woman and you like your feet sucked, it's good to have a man and have a foot fetish because they gonna worship your feet to the foot. They gonna suck, lick, slurp, caress, all that. And your man do that, but you don't want to say he do that, and I understand some things for you.
No, I would say this. Just when it comes to like certain details of my sexual life, I just choose to keep that stuff private. That's all.
All right. Oh man, y'all, I can honestly say this has been one hell of an episode. Y'all funny.
I need you to clear the air up that my feet don't stink because you said my feet stink. You need to smell my feet.
I still can't smell.
Come on, stop lying.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
And why you can't smell? Do you want me to tell people your business, or do you want to tell people my feet don't stink?
I just feel like it should be continued on this episode.
Y'all know she had COVID. Because you said my feet stink. I just told you. You know how I am.
So we both just stated the fact.
My feet don't stink.
I will say this: if you don't take a shower on a regular basis, or you wear like hot socks
What's hot socks?
in dark, humid situations, it could happen.
What's hot socks?
Hot socks, like when you wear like socks and boots, or just have sticky situations, it could happen. Hopefully this was not that moment, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
First of all, my toes never stink because
I'm happy I
I'm
cannot
slick OCD.
smell your feet. And y'all didn't have COVID, but I am healed, and I thank you be to God. Y'all that I was gonna die.
Y'all know when you have COVID, you can't smell. So
Yes, I had lost my sense of smell, but I can smell.
I'm glad you
but
recovered.
you smelling my feet stinky.
I don't think her feet stink because I'm real close to her.
Thank you.
And I got a smell fetish. I mean, I do. If a man smells like Tom Ford, I at least want to know your name. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
look, I'm be like, is that Tom Ford? Is that big prick? Oh my God, what's your name? I'm telling you.
Girl, it's the polo red for me.
That's my shit right there. Polo red, polo blue, polo black, Gucci. Period.
Well, it's time to roll out.
It is. We don't want to leave this podcast.
I know.
No.
This has been very enjoyable and very.
Y'all saw I had 6 pieces of fruit on a big plate. But I got the king, line on for a reason. I gotta get off a big plate all the time. No matter what the size of the meal is. No, I'm talking about.
I gotta.
We're gonna end this episode.
So yeah, if y'all enjoyed it as much as we do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please share. Comment if you like it. Hey, if you don't like it, we just need comments.
Shout out Slim for the K. We know she couldn't be here tonight.
Oh yeah, she in Memphis.
We miss her. She in Memphis.
So words of inspiration, I got you tonight. We gonna say, if you don't be afraid of fat people.
I'm gonna say, love everybody as though they are you.
And I'm gonna say,
That means love yourself.
it don't matter if you're fat or skinny, baby. Men gonna always want somebody. Period.
And women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Women always want somebody.
Somebody loves you, baby.
Oh.
Somebody loves, and you know who it is. Y'all remember this song?
I do that.
Who sang that?
That's Patty LaBelle.
Oh, okay. And she was fat.
I can't sing right now because my voice hurts. If I try to get the note, y'all be like, ooh. Bye, y'all.